Hello and welcome to Notes on the two verbs saber and conocer in Spanish. I'm going to keep these notes short and sweet, so feel free to pause anytime you need to take notes. All right, let's get started with our big idea. Both saber and conocer mean to know in English. So if you looked them up in the dictionary, they would say to know. And both of them are irregular in the present tense yo form. So let's look at how we conjugate saber first. Saber, the yo form is se, S-E with an accent on it. And then the rest of it is what you would expect from a regular ER verb. So sabes, sabe, sabemos, sabéis con acento, and saben. Feel free to pause if you need more time. So why do we use saber? First, saber is the verb that we use to talk about knowing facts. And you might need the word que, which means that, to connect your ideas. So, yo sé tu número de teléfono, I know your phone number. Or ellos saben que tenemos un examen mañana. They know that we have a test tomorrow. So if it's a noun that you know, you can just use saber. If it's a whole idea, another phrase, you can use que to join them together. Saber is also the verb that we use to talk about a skill, something that you know how to do. In that case, conjugate saber, but don't conjugate the verb that you know how to do. Leave that in the infinitive. So, yo sé bailar bien. I know how to dance well. Or ella no sabe hablar español. She doesn't know how to speak Spanish. Then conocer, the yo form is conozco. C-O-N-O-Z-C-O. And then the rest of it is a regular ER verb. So conoces, conoce, conocemos, conocéis con acento, and conocen. Feel free to pause. So what do we use conocer for? The first thing we use, the most common, is to talk about people that you know, because conocer really gives this idea of being familiar with someone. Now, if you do use it with a person, there's something extra here. You have to add the word a between conocer and the person. That word a doesn't technically mean anything in English. You don't translate it. It doesn't mean to. We call it the personal a. It's showing that thing that I know is not actually a thing, it's a person. It's showing the humanity. So, yo conozco a tu hermana. I know your sister. Or nosotros conocemos a los jugadores. We know the players, for example. Conocer can also be used to talk about places we're familiar with, because that's the same feeling of to be familiar with, but since places are not people, we don't use that personal a. So, yo conozco la ciudad de Minneapolis bien. I know the city of Minneapolis well. And ellos conocen toda Europa. They know all of Europe. All right, for the first practice, I just want you to identify which verb would you use, saber or conocer. Feel free to pause. All right, I know you, that's a person, so conocer. I know your name, that's a fact, so saber. I know your family, those are people, conocer. I know your address, saber. I know you play soccer, that's a fact, so saber. I know how to play soccer too. That's a skill, so that's saber. I know your hometown well. That's conocer, to be familiar with. All right, harder practice. I'm going to give you a sentence in English. I want you to see if you can translate it into Spanish by figuring out which verb you should use. Go ahead and pause. All right, here's the answer key. Yo sé tu número. Yo conozco a tu hermana. Tú sabes jugar al voleibol. Tú conoces a los jugadores de voleibol. Sabemos ir a St. Paul. Conocemos St. Paul. Ellos conocen a mí. And yo conozco a ellos. All right, good luck. I hope that gets you started.